Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, across our beloved Kyber Empire. It's great to be in the Empire today. In today's video, it's time to stop by, relax, and just talk about all the Zetas in Star Wars Galaxy, who's ranked from best to worst. And on top of that, I give you all the Zeta orders for every character. And if you're building up factions, I'm telling you the Zeta order when you're building up teams. It's literally the complete guide, the best you're gonna get when it comes to understanding Zetas, what to upgrade in what order. So hope you guys are ready to update it, since the last time I made this video was back in 2022, 5 months ago. It's not quite a quarterly update. It's starting to become like a half-year update, but nonetheless, thank you everyone for watching the video last time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the addition where I add on top of not just the new Zetas and the ranking of them and their individual order per character, but also the recent addition we did starting last time, where we started adding Zeta orders when you're building up certain teams in the game. So in the link down below, I'll give you the link to this spreadsheet right here. We added a few new teams since last time. Hut Cartel obviously was kind of new to the list since the last time I made this video. Also, we have Dr. Aphra's team, if you want to know if you're building up Dr. for what Zetas are kind of necessary. And we also got some other things like Rebels. We have the new Sound of Staros team that came to the game, so feel free to use all these. Hopefully it's helpful. If not, let me know. But I figured some people, they always ask, what Zeta should I apply first on particular teams? So hopefully that kind of gets them on the radar in terms of what they should be upgrading. So all right, we're gonna just get into it. We're gonna pretty much just cover what changed since last time. Couple new things to the list indicated by yellow, couple things going up and that's colored in green, and we have things moving a bit down in red. And I'm probably gonna get flack for this. People always get really upset when I move things down. I can't keep everything in a high tier forever. Things got to move down. Maybe that'll be justified by maybe also adding a new tier to this, maybe adding a best card tier to kind of give some more flexibility in terms of placing. People don't get their feelings hurt when their favorite character by mine is losing relevancy in the game. But I digress. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start doing all this stuff, shall we? All right. All this stuff we got here today is just about Zetas. No Omicrons, no Datacrons. It's really hard to start showing gameplay of just non-Omicron, non-Datacron stuff. So the gameplay is just, you know, eye candy. Ignore the gameplay. You're going to see some crazy stuff. A lot of that's because of Omicrons and Datacrons, which we have ranked all the Omicrons. We do have Datacron guides as well. Nonetheless, I'm just going to start you guys off in Kyber. Inside of Kyber, it's mostly just new things being added to the list. We have the addition of, for example, Ben Solo since last time I made this video. Obviously, Dr. Aphra. Jabba the Hutt with all of their illustrious Zetas that they have on themselves here. And that's pretty much all we're really seeing inside of the Kyber branch. When it comes to Ben Solo, the most important thing when it comes to Ben Solo is that Force Dyad Zeta. With that Force Dyad Zeta, man, that's gonna get you all, it's gonna give you the initial round of cheese that comes along with Rey. When you have that Force Dyad Zeta, Ben Solo can't be defeated while Rey's about 50% health. That's really all you need. And then, of course, you got the instant defeat immunity for one turn as well. Of course, you need to get the Omicron to get the full bang per benefit, but nonetheless, if you are going to get Ben Solo, it's a really good Zeta, and you can make a lot happen with Rey, even without it. Dr. Aphra, also new to this list. I absolutely love this character. It's probably my favorite team in the game right now. Suspended Doctor is obviously the Zeta. I almost call it Omicron. Too many tiers of upgrades lately. Suspended Doctor is the one you're going to want to throw on her. With that Zeta, and again, no Omicrons. It doesn't even really need the Omicrons to operate, in my opinion. With that Zeta, anytime you're inflicting debuffs with Dr. F, a BT trip, or you're critically hitting them, you're getting 10% turn meter. This is where you kind of get, it's kind of like the Emperor Palpatine lead to an extent. And if a dark side ally's Droid, Darth Vader, Chrysanthemum instead gain 10% offense for one turn, and Aphra gains 10 stacks of Siphon. Siphon is the whole cornerstone of Dr. Aphra's kit. You need it. It's a good one. That's the must-have on there. And then Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt's kind of odd. If you notice with a lot of other Galactic Legends, oftentimes I say the first Zeta you should get is the Galactic Legend Zeta, because that juices up their stats per relic level. Jabba's a bit different. As we're going to see, I kind of rank Jabba's Galactic Legend Zeta kind of a bit lower than the rest, because he's not a damage dealer, he's not tanking, he's just kind of being, you can't target him, he's kind of hiding behind all the hired muscle, and really the only time his stats kind of come in handy is when you're trying to blitz him down. It could take forever to get that guy down to zero and knock him out. For me personally, I truly believe when you're upgrading Jabba the Hutt, the Zeta order should be his high exaltedness, number 1, illicit business, number 2, Crumb's revenge, number 3, illustrious, number 4. Those are like the must have Zetas. Now, of course, you're going to want to throw all the Zetas on Jabba the Hutt. But if you're kind of Zeta poor, you need to take a bit more time to get your Zetas up and running. Those are the must-have to really get them up and running. That's just my opinion, my friend. But let's talk about some other Zetas. We're gonna move down to the Rhodium tier. And again, mostly new stuff on this list. Nothing moving up, but there are a few things moving down. You probably already saw it with the opening introduction. Some of the red. I'm sure I'm gonna get some heat for it. People always, anytime I move something down, I always get heat for it. It's just the fact of the matter is some things just die of relevancy over time. Ben Solo, he has 2 other Zetas. Family Legacy, Redeemed. You're gonna probably want to have all the Zetas on this guy. Zetas, here's the thing about Zetas. It's kind of getting to the point where, you know, everyone's kind of have plenty of Zetas. It's Omicrons and Datacrons that people need to get access to. That might be a little bit more challenging to get a hold of here. But nonetheless, you're going to want to get that Family Legacy on him and Redeem. I think Redeem should be number 2. Ben Solo gets to ignore protection, which, or no, sorry, he gets to ignore taunt effects during turn. The Omicron allows him to ignore protection. Having him navigate around the field is great. Always having a way to get around that is fantastic. And then the other Zeta on Family Legacy allows him to dispel all buffs from enemy. You know, it just depends what you want. Honestly, it can be kind of a coin toss. What you want is number 2, number 3. We're splitting hairs at this point. You can easily make Family Legacy number 2, Redeem number 3. Totally up to you. Bosch Leia, Organa, Fearless. In my opinion, this is kind of a quasi must-have Jabba the Hutt Zeta. It's just imagine that this Zeta is a part of Jabba the Hutt's kit. It's indirectly part of Jabba the Hutt, but Fearless is kind of the most important mechanic on him. Getting all that deadly bluff on the other team, it just slows down the enemy team from getting anything going on. So 100%, when you're building up Jabba, you can't skip out on Bosch Leia. Must have Zeta. BT. So here's the thing about Dr. Aphra. You really only need like those 2 Zetas I talked about, and you're gonna get golden at that point. With the other stuff we have here, with BT1's ability here, homicidal counterpart. It's nice. It's nice. I don't think it's necessary, but it's still nice when you think of in the sphere of Dr. Aphra. I don't think if you have Dr. Aphra, probably not a big reason to get it. But when Trip is an active ally, when you're running BT, you're likely running Trip. It's peanut butter and jelly with those 2. You're going to gain the granted ability, kill them all. And then whenever Trip uses the special ability, BT assists. And that's kind of the biggest thing right there. When Trip is doing ability, you want to get BT to come in as much as possible. They're the Dark Trooper of the Dr. Aphra team. So nice to have. And then we have Dr. Aphra's last Zeta on this list here. Dangerous Tech, number 3. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna again likely apply all of them, but I think, you know, you don't quite need this one to really get Dr. Aphra to her full potential. With her Dangerous Tech, this is where you're gonna get the hack commando droids, and then you're gonna inflict breach and target lock on the enemy, and then you get to call the hack commando droid 2 assists. That's the biggest thing right there. And then they're gonna deal damage equal to 20% of Dr. Aphra's potency, and with the Scythe mechanics, her potency is gonna get pretty dang high. So you're gonna want to have it. Again, you know, Zetas, it's not like Omicrons where you can kind of skip out on some and be fine because they're very hard to get. Zetas, you're likely gonna get all of them at one point. Zetas are not as difficult to come across nowadays. Hondo, new to this list as well. Hondo Onaka's Omicron, Zeta, jeez. How many times am I gonna mess that up? Are kind of necessary for one another. First one I would recommend is I don't want to kill you per se. Hondo Onaka, it's kind of a weird character. He doesn't really make a team, but he's kind of got like a degree of plug and play vibe there. We can plug him in a variety of teams. My favorite non-Omicron, non-Datacron use is Maul. I think he works well with Maul. But nonetheless, you have a lot of different options using him. But with I don't want to kill you per se, that's where you're going to get the captive. That's kind of the thing about Hondo. You want to get captive, and then all the other stuff kind of follows through. That's just good business. The Zeta on this allows him to keep increasing his stacks at the start of a turn if there's an enemy of debuffs. I have the captive debuff, 50% critical chance, damage, defense, penetration, and extra speed. So you kind of need both of them. Otherwise, you're not really getting the full potential of Hondo. And then the other Zeta I would recommend for Jabba the Hutt is going to be Crime Lord. That's an Erodium one. Again, you're going to have all these Zetas on the Galactic Legends. But for me personally, you know, it's one of those that you kind of wait off. It's kind of interesting being a support character in a Galactic Legend. Our first support Galactic Legend that we have. Moving on, we have a couple other ones. We have Sonastaros. I love this team. A lot of people are experiencing the Sonastaros turn meter train right now inside of Conquest, where they're just getting absolutely ran over by her. It feels annoying. It feels great when you're the one doing it, but not when it happens to you. Rebel Sympathizer creates a whole brand new team with Captain Han Solo, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Stormtrooper Han, whatever else you want. I love Cara Dune in that spot. You just get it. Just get the Zeta. On that Rebel Sympathizer Zeta right there. It's pretty much, it's just too much to read. it just creates a whole brand new team and helps you enable to get lots of turn meter and lots of damage and roll around your opponents. It's fantastic. Skiff Guard Lando, I was kind of debating maybe knocking us down a little bit lower, but in the sphere of Jabba the Hutt, covert coordination is kind of a big deal. It's basically giving that bonus turn over to Jabba the Hutt and making sure Jabba can keep doing his thing. It's pretty simple. Zeta kind of makes him into a Hux type of role. And then Zori Bliss, new to this list as well, and the first new character of 2023. Spice Runner skills is a fantastic Zeta. Revitalizes the Resistance faction, giving them the extra turn meter, giving them protection up. It's just, there's so much amazing stuff going on of Zori Bliss. It's just a ton of fun running with this character. And damage immunity, man, oof, a lot of fun stuff. But she also has a second Zeta, and that's why we got to move on to our next tier of action, which is going to be the Chromium. Mostly a couple new things, but some things going down and up. I'm moving Asajj Ventress from Erodium down. Night Sisters are not entirely relevant in the game right now, like at least end game. Yes, of course, if you're early game, Night Sisters can be great. This is like, again, looking at mostly an end game perspective. You're not going to get a ton of Night Sisters. I don't think she's as amazing as before. We're knocking her down the list a little bit here with both of her Zetas. And then we have Drain Organics for Trip. I don't quite think it's needed, but you can definitely use it with that Trip Zeta on their unique ability. Again, it's nice. If the ally's a dark side droid, they're getting offense up, which is going to be mostly for BT, and 50% Terminator, and the ally BT, he gains 30% Terminator instead. So it's giving extra Terminator opportunities. It's nice. I don't think it's mandatory, but it's still cool to have. Kara doing extra shock trooper, she's become so much more important with the addition of Sana Staros. Being able to just get revive when you got potency is incredibly annoying. Makes it very hard, and it comes with super. And we're not really looking at Rise of the Empire, but man, this Zeta comes in handy for Rise of the Empire. Her just constantly reviving under Sana Staros is fantastic. There's that Galactic Legend Jabba the Hutt Zeta. It's kind of odd. I don't think you really need it like number one like the others. You're going to want to apply it, but I definitely think the other ones are going to be a lot more important to operate. Unlike Kenobi, Rey, where all their damage and stuff is kind of based off their max health. This is kind of a little bit not as much. Again, you're still going to want to have it. It's still important, but not as important as the other Zetas. Also, knocking down Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin, again, it's an all right Zeta. It used to be God tier. Not so much anymore. Night Sisters are mostly sitting on people's benches. And then moving up on those, we have Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Dauntless, and Stormtrooper Han Bluff. With the addition of Sana Staros, these Zetas became a lot more valuable on the team. Love it, love it, love it. Stormtrooper Han gets that extra protection cover if they're being hit. Leia gets a ton of extra offense opportunities. Fantastic. And then we also have the addition, I believe this is the last one we got to go over, Zori Bliss's second Zeta inside of here. There's more of us. This is mostly interacting with the tenacity up mechanic from Rose Tico. Whenever resistance ally without tenacity up gains tenacity up, all the resistance allies are getting tenacity up. And then while they have tenacity up, whenever they deal damage to an enemy, they have a 35% chance to inflict exposed for one turn. If you're not running a resistance team that gives you tenacity up, you're not really going to get the full benefit out of this. So mostly if you're not running Rose Tico or whatever, you could probably skip out on this. The other Zeta is a lot more important that we describe. And otherwise, that's pretty much the extent of everything we have here. And of course, as I also said, we also updated the list to include the brand new teams. So Hutt Cartel, the Rebel Sana Staros team, all that stuff. So if you need to know Zeta order per team, not just per character, feel free to check it out. But that's going to wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen, across our beloved empire. That is going to be your 2023 January, soon to be February, all Zetas ranked, best of worst, Zeta order per team. I mean, come on, it's the full entire package. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe to Ever Growing Empire. And always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.